a little bit more of Ray Dalio. Yeah, nearly have forgotten his name. And hello and welcome back to the next episode of the Self-Development with Tactics fucking podcast. I'm pretty fucking pumped to be here again, even though I've just been wasting quite 1.5 hours of time, for cooking, for eating, for just, getting ready to actually do something that's somehow productive, which is, for me at least, recording. Still gonna have to do some other things for school, of course, as always, like it's never gonna end, or it just feels like it to be like this, but I've actually only having quite, I think it is quite a month left of school. So on the 7th of July, I guess. Yeah, the 7th of July, I'm gonna be just away. Just gonna be in my kind of holidays. I still do have to work in my holidays, which is great for me because I'm having an internship in a quite great, a design firm or quite an agency or something, which is totally great. I'm really hoping that I'm gonna learn just a lot of things. Just really pumped for this, but I'm gonna just had to close the door of my closet. I've just saved myself there. But yeah, pretty fucking pumped. Today we are actually going through another part of Ray Dalio's Principles, which is a great book, which is totally a great book. And I don't know, maybe I'm even gonna edit one of the videos, so maybe I'm even going to edit this video, maybe I'm gonna edit both videos. It just depends, because editing 30 minutes is just quite a lot, to be honest. Like, for me, it's not about cutting something out of it. For me, it's really not about kind of editing it in terms of actually trimming it, cutting it, whatsoever. I'm just willing to make it a little bit more interesting for those people who just, kind of aren't as familiar with the things that I'm doing as other might, or as I'm quite, because the problem there is, which is also something that Gary Vee pointed out today in one of his podcasts, and actually his newest one, which was quite an interview actually with Tom Dalio. So he was actually interviewed by Tom Dalio, so it's actually from Tom Dalio's show, which is The Impact Theory. If you didn't know that, it is quite a great show. There are a lot of great personalities on there where I can definitely learn a lot from, and this is the great part of podcasts, that, most of the time those people who are already fucking great and fucking just, inspiring and motivating, that they just then also on top of that really then just, talk with other people or talk to other people about certain things that you might be interested in, or some things that are just quite nice to listen to. Like, it's not always, about certain things that I'm way interested in, but maybe it's just even or only about the feeling of kind of just anticipating something, like just really waiting for something that you've been just, waiting for your entire life, in terms of, okay, now it's, chances are there that in this podcast episode there will be something that I absolutely need. And this is maybe just a thinking a lot of people have when going through podcasts, which then leads them to actually go through all of them, or like through the whole one. But I don't know. I really don't. But yeah, we are going ahead with the second part of the 5-step process for getting what you want. Sorry. Which is identifying problems and don't tolerate them, or identify problems. So the second one is identify problems and don't tolerate them. By the way, I really love this book. Just, up to this point, I think it's pretty great. Also just, besides the other one that I'm going through at the time, which is actually the Little Book of Stoicism, whatever it is called. I don't actually know. They both are just not quite the same. I've just been really watching that I'm not going to go through some things that are just completely the same thing, because I would then just mix up certain things, and this wouldn't, just be great. So But I like both of them. So both of them are pretty great. So the first one is identify the biggest problems first. Start from the symptom instead of poking at root causes. Which means I can't get enough sleep is not a problem. The downstream symptom is I'm performing poorly at work. Which is totally the case. Which totally makes sense. If you're just thinking about it like this, it is just been thinking about whether I could just also apply it into my life as well. This kind of strategy or this kind of way of thinking actually. Yeah. Maybe, I'm also having troubles with sleep. And this is now the point that I'm going to make, I think. Because I'm getting angry and I'm getting just really kind of pissed about everything, which is nothing that nice, if you're dealing with people for 10, 9, 11 hours a day in school, it's not that nice, to just be a fucking jerk. But then it's not the problem that I'm, not getting any sleep, which would then be the root. But the symptom is, okay, I'm just a fucking asshole to other people. And if you're thinking about this, then just, besides the fact that you haven't been sleeping for maybe quite a long time, it gets really narrow, to be honest. It's really getting like to a point where you say, okay, it's not about the sleep, it's maybe about me. Like, it could totally be the case. But yeah, let's see. So hold yourself accountable. Every failure is your personal failure. This means you weren't creative or flexible or determined enough to do what it takes. Ego and comfort get in the way of recognizing problems. To overcome this, recognize that not recognizing problems is going to set you much further back from your goals, which is actually quite a great advice, even though, on first glance you might think like, this is total shit. I'm really gonna just underline this. Like, I'm just really getting it why people are like, okay, just like being negative or just forming a negative sentence, like, okay, it shouldn't be about, recognizing things, but actually recognizing that you're not recognizing your problems. It somehow makes sense though. Like, I guess recognition or recognizing the things is the first step to actually change something. And I guess it is a really important one. And if you recognize that you're not recognizing everything or anything, whatever it will be, then I think it's also quite a great step to actually getting forward or actually getting to change something. Like, yeah, and this is also the great thing that I'm doing right now. As I've been just, talking about it, you now know, okay, there might be something to recognize, which then means, okay, you may just think about it. Like, you may think about your life, think about certain areas of your life where you maybe are having troubles, or you're maybe not having troubles. And then, because of that, you're not only going to think about certain areas of your life where you do have troubles, but also certain areas of your life where you do not have any troubles, to actually see whether there is something like a problem or not. Because maybe if you haven't just recognized it yet. Like, yeah, it's just somehow, if I'm understanding and if I'm thinking about it correctly, then it just seems for me to be like, okay, it really puts you in a state of trying to recognize things and trying to see things where maybe nothing is or maybe something is. But fucking yeah. Pretty fucking pumped here. Like, I really enjoy this. So view life as a game that throws challenges at you that you must struggle with and overcome. Like Dark Souls. I don't know if it actually mean the game or if he means the game, but maybe, because everything is written with capitals like Dark and Souls, so it might be just, the game, if you know it. Just pretty interesting game, to be honest. I've never ever played it, I haven't been just playing much games for the last year, I guess. Like, before, when I was in my just, teens or whatever you wanna just, call them, I've been playing a lot of games, especially soccer games, FIFA. I've always quite liked it, but since I'm just doing what I'm doing right now, I'm not quite getting just the time for doing it. and it's even not quite bothering me. Like, it was just something additional for my life and something that I just really enjoyed some years ago or some months ago. But now it's like, okay, I rather would be just, working on what I'm working right now. So on the podcast, or just improving some things, seeing if I could do something differently. Or on the other hand, there's just no time for actually thinking about something like that. And the second one is acknowledging your problems is not the same as surrendering to them. You will find ways to get around problems. That's totally true. That's really true. It is really not debatable. Like, there's always gonna be a way, and there's always gonna be just a path to actually kind of get around this problem, or just destroy this problem, or solve this problem. The thing there is, often it might be just a solution that you don't like, and this is something completely different. Like, there is a problem, and there is a solution, and whether you like the solution or not is like, it's about you, or it's on you. And sometimes we gotta have to do certain things we don't actually wanna do, I guess. Like, sometimes to really solve a problem that's, might be pissing you off or on, you just have to do something you do not want to do. If there, wasn't another just way to actually kind of solve this problem, because there are multiple ways to do things. It is something that I'm quite always thinking about and wondering even why certain people always do certain things in a certain order or in a certain way. Like, for sure, in terms of some cases, it totally makes sense. Like, there are some ways for a lot of people to actually do something the most efficient way, and I get it. But sometimes I'm like, okay, you're only doing this because someone else told you. Like, maybe it was the teacher, or maybe it was someone else. And there are so many ways. There are quite unlimited ways to do things. And it's just got to be about, actually finding the best way for you. Finding the best way to do what you're doing, which, could really do a lot for you, I guess. I really think so. So think of yourself as a machine, and I've just really liked this metaphor. We've been going through it actually in the one-page summary of this whole summary. So actually the summary in the summary, totally great. So think of yourself as a machine feeding in resources and information and producing outcomes. Which then, by the way, because I'm actually now seeing it in quite a different way than just, the first time, you're feeding the machine with something, and there is an outcome. And the way and the things you're feeding the machine with are actually correlated to the outcome. Which means, okay, for me at least, and for me it's just, it totally makes sense. Like, if you eat shit, the outcome's gonna be shit. Like, I'm not talking about your poop or some shit like this. I'm rather talking about the performance of human beings, I would say, especially through all these fucking sweets and all these just unhealthy bullshit. We've just really been fucking our whole performance, whether it be physically or mentally. I'm not really guessing in terms of the mental part. I am as human, to be honest, because I'm not that educated in this, in the mental kind of business, I'd say. Besides the whole self-development thing and besides theoretical things. But I still guess, if you're just feeding your body with some bullshit like sweets, all the time. I'm not really saying that you should cut them out completely. Sometimes it's okay, even though I do just really have to say, okay, if you just, don't want to consume them, then you should never ever consume them. Even though, it sounds hard or it sounds tough and whatsoever, I guess, there's a reason why you won't consume them, whether it be about, sports, or whether it be about you feeling better if you're not consuming this piece of shit. And then for me, it somehow gets a little crazy. I understand, okay, it tastes super good. I guess I haven't been eating any sweets for the last 1.5, 2 years or something like this. I don't know, because, I've actually seen, okay, it's just pretty harmful for my body. It's just not good for my body, and I kind of just felt like, okay, it's making me ill, and this is not something I wanted to have. Like, since I've been really watching my nutrition, really watching what I'm eating, and since I've also just gotten a little older, I really have been able to just keep being healthy pretty well. Sometimes because I'm not sleeping or I'm just talking a lot, especially on a podcast and whatsoever, or additional with the podcast and whatsoever, a sore throat is sometimes, the case. But that's okay. I still have the ability somehow to just recover pretty quickly. And I do think that the way I'm eating and the things that I'm eating actually really, really contribute in the process of actually healing yourself and also staying healthy. So this is for me the reason. And then I think it's okay, if certain people also have the same reason, why wouldn't they just completely cut it out? I hope you're getting what I mean. It's pretty complicated to explain. But yeah, so viewing from top down this helps with objectivity. Totally makes sense. Also the objectivity of saying okay, I know I'm a machine, and if I'm eating bullshit, the outcomes will also be bullshit. So therefore, I'm just gonna eat healthy, and the outcome's gonna be way better. And by the way, it is also in terms of actually being sleepy or tired all day long. I'm quite never ever sleepy in a day. I'm really not. When it's just, 11 p.m. and I've been just up since 5 a.m. or something, for sure, I'm gonna be looking forward to actually sleeping. That's totally, I think, just normal, and it totally makes sense. But there are quite a lot of people, I don't know if it's due to just, lack of sleep. This could also be the case because I don't know their life, but a lot of people in my class actually do just have some, I do not want to say problems, but they're just tired all the fucking time. They're tired. Pretty often, the only way or the only kind of situation or occasion or whatever you would say that I'm actually tired on is actually when I'm when I haven't been sleeping a lot, so 5 hours or 6 hours or something like this, and then I'm waking up, I'm eating something, and I'm riding the bike to the train wheel station, and then I'm hopping onto the tree, not on the tree but on the train. Then I'm sitting down and starting watching, my phone, just seeing if everything is okay with Instagram, some news sometimes, or I should, yeah, I'm quite often forgetting it, unfortunately. And then I'm actually getting fucking sleepy. I don't know why. Maybe it's just because I'm usually eating, a lot of sugar in the morning, fruits and whatsoever, and it's gonna just push up I think it's your insulin level, and this is gonna make you pretty tired and pretty low on energy after a pretty short period of time. And I guess maybe it's this, I don't actually know, but when I haven't been sleeping a lot, I'm just really getting sleepy in the train, and then I'm even just sometimes trying to sleep there, but yeah, just the rest of the day I'm never ever sleepy, quite never ever. So if your air conditioner is broken, would you tolerate that? And if not, why should you treat yourself differently? Something that also hit me quite hard, because it makes sense, a lot of people, I guess, just, observe a lot what's going on in their life. Okay, yeah, my knee just really, really fucking hurts. I think I'm gonna watch it for the next 2 weeks. And then after 2 weeks, okay, it's gotten a little bit better, but still they're quite the thing is, if something your phone isn't working, you're just immediately going to kind of let it repair it. Something like this. I think I'm just assuming, I think it's just meaning this by saying, okay, if your air conditioner is broken, and you're not tolerating that, why you're tolerating if your body isn't working quite. So don't tolerate your problems. If you don't have the will to succeed, then your situation is hopeless. Okay, it's in another just way of thinking. Okay, it's more about, if there's a problem in your life and you're just ignoring it, like the problem of having your air conditioner being broken, because this is something you immediately would change or immediately would solve, then why wouldn't you solve the problems in your life as well? But yeah, The third one is diagnose problems that get at their root causes. Speak with relevant people and look at evidence together. Get other people comfortable with pointing out your mistakes. Make clear they're not going to hurt you. Take time, more than 15 minutes, sometimes an hour. Yeah, take 15 minutes or sometimes an hour. And questions to ask are, why didn't things go as they should have? Ask why 5 times to get a root causes. Ask why 5 times to get at the root causes, which means like, okay, the statement is, I'm fucking tired. Like, I'm really tired. I'm not feeling good whatsoever. Why are you feeling tired? Okay, I'm feeling tired because I haven't slept. Slept. Yeah, I should be slept like, I don't know, never mind. So you haven't been sleeping a lot. And why haven't you been sleeping a lot? Okay, I had been had been dealing with a lot of work. Why? Why did you have to deal with a lot of work? Then the answer would be something like, okay, my time management wasn't that good enough on that day to really be able to, get to sleep on a proper amount of time because I just had to do this day. Then what's the cause of everything? Your fucking time management. And it is pretty a great thing. I've heard it somewhere else in some another book. I don't know, I've been going through so many fucking books. I can't remember all of them. And I could also not remember what was inside them and what was from what book and whatsoever. Still, a lot of great books are what I have in my mind just all the time. Like, there are certain books I think that they're gonna stay in my head. Like How to Win Friends and Influence People, because it's been a really great book. Another question is the root cause a pattern? Like, if you're doing it over and over and over again because it's somehow a habit of yours or just a pattern or something that you just don't recognize. And the last one is, how should I, as a machine, evolve as a result? So the work principles treatment of this has more tactics. There are definitely more tactics than one or something. Oh, I'm just really getting somehow dizzy. I don't know, maybe it's just because I'm going so fucking fast today. Yeah, never mind. So the fourth thing is design solutions to get around problems. Replay the story of what you have done to get you where you are right now. Okay, so does it mean your life story? I at least assume. Like, yeah, I think so. So look down on yourself as a machine and find changes to produce better outcomes. Would you tolerate a microwave that shuts off every 5 seconds to check its email? Fucking question mark. And drill down from high level to specific tasks and timelines. Think of your plan as a movie script to visualize who does what through time. Write down your plan for everyone to see and measure against. Makes sense? Like, who is the most efficient one? Why is he the most efficient one? And what can we learn from this person? Like, every person is completely different. We are all individuals, something that I just really want to spread because somehow it is not that clear or not that common that people actually see like this. At least for me, it feels like this. But what did I want to say? Like yeah, we all have certain character traits and we all have certain talents. We all have, I think there's no singular person that actually has no talents. Sometimes it's something bullshitty like, okay, I'm good at, nothing is bullshit, but some things are just, even just like in nowadays or in the society we have today, some things are not as good as some other things, like being pretty intelligent, having a photogenic just mind, or if it is actually called like this, I guess so somehow. Like Elon Musk actually has one, like is it a photographical? I'm gonna look that up. It's a photographic memory. And something I haven't known is that Elon Musk actually has one. And I'm now seeing, okay, this is totally a character trait that will just give you a lot of benefits in nowadays society. In the really early days of our humankind, I guess, it also has had its just, its good parts and whatsoever, because you was able to just kind of memorize and see where you have been, to actually kind of orientate yourself and to kind of see, okay, where you do have to go to. And though just being very athletic, being just fast, or being strong in general, having a just good body structure in terms of these traits would have been a little bit better. And maybe this is one of the reasons why we are initially I guess at least, I think we actually like group animals, I'd say, or we should be staying in groups, and it somehow makes sense. Not always, or not only because we would have been able to just really survive way better, or to just actually kind of fight against predators or other human beings or whatever way better, because we have just more people. It just makes sense. But also we are able to kind of really combine all these skills and all these talents and all together, like everything together, and this would then just been a pretty nice thing. But let's go to the fifth one. Do the tasks required to completion. Prioritize your to-do lists and tick them off in order. Establish clear metrics to make clear you're following your plan. Totally important. If you're having a plan, totally fucking follow it. Don't be like, okay, today I'm not gonna feel like this. I'm really not feeling like doing this and that. Maybe this is even better today. No, you're fucking gonna make it. And it's the same thing with actually working out. And I've been struggling with it as well. I've quite somehow never ever had quite a workout plan or something. I've always been quite thinking about one, and then I've been doing it for a certain amount of time until I just changed it up somehow. And I've been always quite doing it like this. I've never written down something. It was always in my mind. Maybe it's just that easy because I'm only doing full body workouts, because it's the thing that worked best for me, or is still working best for me. But if you have a plan, just really follow it. Tactical points. Tactical points. So these steps must be completed in order, otherwise you will worry about barriers and avoid confronting the true problems. Well, I think I'm not going to go through this one. I think I'm going to go through this one in the next episode, not because I just want to have some people to actually have to actually get to the next episode because they want to know what's going to happen. They want to know what's in there or whatever, but only because I'm not going to just stress out myself, because I'm already 28 minutes in, and in about 2 to 5 minutes I'm going to end the episode. And I really want to have it to be just somehow clean, or maybe somehow okay, this is something I can take my time on, and now I do not practically have the ability to I would like to just go in detail, I think, with this tactical points. This was it with the episode, and therefore I wish you the best health, wealth, happiness, and success. I hope you're doing well. I hope everything is well. I hope all of your friends and family and whatsoever are doing good as well. Never mind. But still, remember how you're gonna be remembered, and just think about how they speak on your funeral. What he's gonna talk about you, or what she is gonna talk about you, whether it be something good or something bad, is totally in your hands. You decide.